Have you ever noticed something strange? Two people can have the exact same idea, the same opportunity, the same information, and yet one person acts while the other spends years thinking about it. One starts the business, the other keeps talking about starting. One learns the skill, the other keeps planning. One changes their life, the other keeps waiting for the perfect moment. And it raises an interesting question. Why do some people execute while others only dream? Most people think the answer is motivation, but I don't think that's true. Because if motivation was enough, we'd all be in shape. We'd all invest. We'd all build businesses. We'd all follow through on our plans. I think the real answer is something much more uncomfortable. And in Kenya, you can see it everywhere. That's what we're talking about today. Part 1. The myth of motivation. Motivation is one of the most overrated ideas in self-improvement. People act as if successful people wake up every morning feeling inspired. But that's rarely how life works. Most people don't feel motivated consistently. In fact, some of the biggest decisions people make happen when they don't feel ready at all. Which raises a question. If motivation isn't driving action, what is? Part 2. Necessity creates movement. There is a saying, necessity is the mother of invention. But I think necessity is something even more important. Necessity is often the mother of execution. Because ideas are everywhere, execution is rare. Think about it. A person who desperately needs income may start a business they've been postponing for years. A farmer facing difficult conditions finds a solution they never needed before. A graduate who cannot find employment starts creating opportunities instead of waiting for them. Pressure creates movement. Not because pressure is pleasant, because pressure removes the luxury of endless thinking. Part 3. Why people with fewer options sometimes move faster. One thing I've noticed is that people with fewer options are often forced into action. When there is no safety net, you move. When there is no backup plan, you move. When the problem becomes painful enough, you move. This doesn't mean hardship is good. And it certainly doesn't mean everyone facing hardship succeeds. But it does explain something interesting. Many successful people didn't start because they had extraordinary confidence. They started because staying where they were became more painful than moving forward. Part 4. The hidden cost of too many options. This is where the conversation becomes uncomfortable. Sometimes having more options can actually slow people down. Why? Because there is always tomorrow, always another plan, always another opportunity, always another excuse. And when action becomes optional, many people postpone it. Not once, not twice, for years. The irony is that the people who appear to have more freedom sometimes move less than the people who feel they have no choice. Part 5. The psychology of no choice. This is the phrase I keep coming back to. No choice. Some of the biggest changes in people's lives happen when they stop asking, "Should I?" and start asking, "How do I?" That's a completely different mindset. The first mindset debates. The second mindset executes. And often, the difference between the two is urgency. The moment action feels necessary, the conversation changes. Part 6. Why some people keep moving even after success. This is important. Because not everyone needs hardship to act. Some people eventually develop something more powerful. Purpose, discipline, identity. They learn how to create internal pressure even when external pressure disappears. They don't wait until circumstances force them. They move because movement becomes part of who they are. And that's what separates people who only escape hardship from people who continue growing long after they've escaped it. 7. The Kenyan reality. In Kenya, many of the most impressive businesses, careers, and success stories began as solutions to problems. Not because someone woke up inspired, but because they faced a challenge they could not ignore. That's something worth remembering, because we often admire the outcome while forgetting the pressure that created the action. Maybe the biggest difference between people who execute and people who don't isn't intelligence. It isn't talent, and it isn't even ideas. Maybe it's urgency. Maybe it's reaching a point where staying the same becomes more uncomfortable than changing. Because the truth is, most people already know what they should do. They've known for years. The question isn't, what should I do? The question is, what am I waiting for? This channel explores the psychology of money, wealth, and financial behavior in Kenya. If you enjoy conversations like this, subscribe for more weekly videos. And let me leave you with a question. Looking back at your life, what decision did you finally make when you felt you had no choice? Let me know in the comments.